What's up guys, my name is Devin and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we are bringing you guys a very special video. We have taken it upon ourselves to share some of the drippiest guys in the NFL. We're going to start this video off with three superlative type of awards: best helmet setup, best cleat heat, and best glove game. After we wrap those up, we're going to be talking about who has the best drip at each position. Each position will have an outright winner and then a runner-up as well. For each one, I'll explain briefly why I chose who I chose, but feel free to air out your thoughts in the comments below. This video is a ton of work, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. The first award we're going to present is the best helmet setup. The award for the best helmet setup this season is Brian Burns of the New York Giants. You guys already know how much I love this helmet setup. We literally recreated the exact same helmet, and that video dropped on Monday, so if you guys haven't seen that, you definitely want to check it out. Also, it's right there. Just to give you guys a brief rundown of the setup, the helmet itself is a Wan'dale Speedflex, and then he's got a whole bunch of cool upgrades on there as well. First of all, he's got a custom face mask unique to only him. It's inspired by Spider-Man, and it's pretty sweet. Then he's also worn a couple different visors this season, an Oakley Pro visor in their Prism, and then a custom Spider visor that he wears during practice. He's got the upgraded hard cup chin strap on there and the Drymax chin saver over the top of that. And last but not least, he's worn a plethora of different lip guard mouth guards throughout the season. Overall, I absolutely love this setup. It won last year and it's going to win here again. The setup itself is totally custom and a lot of the pieces are unique to Burns, so it just makes it one of the coolest and flashiest helmet setups in football. Congrats, Brian Burns. The next award we're going to give out is the best glove game. So this is going to be an award for the player who has the best gloves from this season. The award for the best glove game is going to be George Pickens of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickens has won this award because he's pulled out so many dope pairs throughout the season. While most guys are rocking the newest gloves on the market, GP tends to roll with the classics, and some of these pairs are 10 to 15 years old at this point. Some of my personal favorites that he wore are the Nike Vapor Carbons. These gloves have been around for over a decade and you rarely see them out there on the field. He wore them in an all-black colorway, and these are just a timeless pair of football gloves in my opinion. Some other classics he's worn are the Nike VaporJet 1s, the VaporJet 2s, and the Nike Superbad 2s. These are more pairs from the iconic days of Nike football, and again, you never see these out there on the field. I always love to see a guy respect some of the all-time classics. He's also worn a couple pairs that aren't quite as old, but still 5+ years old, the Nike VaporNet 3.0 and the Nike Superbad 4.0s. The Superbad 4s he wore appear to be some sort of sample or something because of the white colored thumb and then the silver swoosh. The final pair he wore is probably the most impressive, some insanely old Nikes. Now I can't even venture a guess as to how old these are, but as you guys can tell by how they look, they're old. I haven't seen anybody wear these since the late 2000s. And then the only comp I found online was this one over on eBay. Just what a wild pair to pull out in 2025. Due to his variety of old school gloves and just a good rotation all season long, congrats to George Pickens. The next award we're going to talk about is the best cleat heat. This award is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to go to the guy who had the best cleats throughout the season, and the award for the best cleat heat goes to Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens. Just about every single game this season, Bateman was in a new pair of custom cleats, and he was in our cleat heat videos all season long. He was the clear choice for this award because of the variety of pairs and what they were inspired by. Let's take a look at the cleats he wore. He wore black foam posits, purple foam posits, two different colorways of the Nike Book 1, Chrome Hearts cleats for breast cancer awareness, two different pairs of KD4s, one of them was denim and then the other one was done in leather, Jordan 3s in black and gold, Kobe 4s in purple and white, LeBron 4s, Nike Kobe Hyper Dunks, these ones are some of my favorites, Off-White Dunks in black and purple, Purple Dino Dunks, Purple Lobster Dunks, these ones are my absolute favorite, and lastly his My Cause My Cleats. Rashad Bateman had some insane cleat heat all season long, and I think he's well deserving of the best cleat heat of this season. Now that we've covered those three main awards, it's time to talk about the drippiest guys at each position. I have carefully selected a winner and a runner-up at the following positions: QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, interior defensive line, edge, linebacker, and safety. Again, I'm going to quickly go through that guy's gear and explain why I chose them. Also, keep in mind these are solely based off my personal opinion. Your guys' opinions are going to be totally different, but feel free to air them out in the comments below. Let's get things started. The first position we're going to talk about is quarterback. The QB with the most drip this season is Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. K1 has had some of my favorite drips since he came into the league. Up top, he's got the Riddell Axiom with one of the new updated face masks with the top bar. He's also got one of the updated Axiom visors on there, which I honestly hate due to the clip placement, but it's better than no visor, I suppose. For his arms, he mixes it up a bit, sometimes baggy sleeves and sometimes just the single sleeve on the throwing arm with the wrist coach on the other arm. He's also got the baggy undershirt, a towel, and of course those custom Bruce Lee thigh pads. For his legs, he keeps it pretty simple with tights, some short socks, and a teeny bit of tape on there. It's simple, but I think it's one of the cleanest looks. And lastly, the real reason he's on here is cleat heat. He's worn several different pairs this season, including the Kobe Grinches, those mismatched dunks for My Cause My Cleats, and then his very own Rolls Gold Nike dunks. K1's drip is so simple and clean and easily my favorite amongst QBs. Congrats K1. The runner-up is going to be Jayden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. Now, Jayden's drip has been pretty incredible throughout his first season in the NFL. I was pretty close to making him the outright winner, but I think he's got a little bit of room to grow. Up top, he's got the Riddell Speed Flex with the OBJ-style face mask and the Oakley visor, which is one of my favorite looks for a QB. For his arms, he usually just rolls with the 3/4 sleeves and occasionally an arm sleeve. He usually has the shirt hanging out underneath the jersey, which is always a clean look, especially for a QB. He also rocks a little bit of wrist tape with some different things written on them, which is always clean. He also rolls with custom thigh pads with crosses on them, and then lastly, the cleat game. Tons of custom Nike Untouchables, Kobe's, and Jordan 1s, always in matching Commanders colors, and always a good look. Overall, definitely one of the best looks for QBs. The next position we're going to talk about is running back. The running back with the most drip this season, Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions. I'm pretty sure Gibbs was the runner-up last year, but this season he turned it up a notch. Super clean Riddell Speed Flex setup with the OBJ-style face mask and a couple different visors. Also a Dry Max chin saver on top of a Sports Star chin strap, and of course a VetX lip guard mouth guard. On the arms, he's got turf tape and sweatbands, and then some unstrapped Nike Vapor Jets in a couple different colorways. Of course, he's always got the undershirt hanging out, and then the scrunch socks and plenty of custom cleats. He had custom reverse Grinch cleats, LeBron 4s, and Nike Untouchables. Every single week was a good look, but his blackout look was easily my favorite. Congrats to Jahmyr Gibbs for having the best running back drip this season. The runner-up is going to be DeAndre Swift of the Chicago Bears. Swift has always been one of my favorite looks at running back, and this season was no different. We have another clean Speed Flex look with the new and popular jagged eye guards and the tinted Oakley Pro visor. Always looks fantastic. On the arms, it's a simple quarter sleeve shirt and some Nike Superbads, almost always in orange. I think the orange gloves look so good with those Bears unis. Then he has his oversized custom trade decal thigh pads and a few different pairs of cleats. We saw him in LeBron 4s, Nike Untouchables, and Diamond Turf 96s. Overall, excellent drip this season from Mr. Swift. The next position we're going to talk about is wide receiver. The wide receiver with the most drip this season is Wan'dale Robinson of the New York Giants. I can't wait to see everyone's thoughts on this one. Wan'dale Robinson probably has the most underrated drip in the entire NFL. Let's take a closer look. Up top, he's got a Riddell Speed Flex with the custom Jalen Ramsey face mask, an Oakley Pro visor, and a couple different, very colorful VetX mouth guards. He mostly rocks the quarter sleeve undershirt and the rare Nike Hyper Strong sleeve on his right arm with some Nike Superbad 6s. He also has some serious ice around his neck under his pads. He also rocks some custom thigh pads with chrome hearts on one pad and what I believe is his Wan'dale Robinson logo on the other. Lastly, you've got scrunch socks half the time and then compression pants the other half. For his cleats, he had some OG Untouchables, which are always really cool to see, and then a couple different pairs of custom Kobe's. Overall, I think this dude's drip is so underrated. Huge congrats to Mr. Wan'dale Robinson for having the best drip at wide receiver. The runner-up is going to be CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you already know CeeDee Lamb has some unbelievable drip. Up top, we've got the Riddell Speed Flex with one of the jagged eye guards face masks, a Dry Max chin saver, and lots of pretty cool visors, and occasionally a VetX mouth guard. He almost always has some serious bling on his neck, along with a turtleneck quarter sleeve shirt. He always has two sweatbands right at the wrist, and then a plethora of Nike PE football gloves in different Dallas Cowboys colorways. He's rocked some custom thigh pads, scrunch socks, and of course a wide variety of cleats. He's rocked Kobe's, some of the new Nike Vapor Zooms that aren't even out yet, and then some Untouchables, just to name a few. CeeDee's drip is among the tippity top of the NFL, but wide receiver is just such fierce competition. The next position we're going to talk about is tight end. The tight end with the most drip this season, Jonnu Smith of the Miami Dolphins. Now, tight ends aren't as exciting as wide receivers, but we still needed to crown a winner. Now, the only way I can describe Jonnu's drip is clean. Something about it just makes it one of the cleanest looks out there at all positions. Up top, Riddell Speed Flex with the newer jagged eye guard face mask, a Sports Star chin strap, and a white VetX lip guard. He always rocks the quarter sleeve turtleneck undershirt and white forearm bands on both arms. He's always in a pair of white and black Nike Superbad 6s and has a towel on his waist. Lastly, he rocks some all-white scrunch socks and some of the all-white Nike Vapor Edge 360 Pro 2s. There's just something special about a well-executed whiteout, and Jonnu kills it every single week. It's so simple but so effective, and the single-digit number for a tight end, peak drip. Huge congrats to Jonnu Smith. The runner-up is going to be Jatavian Sanders of the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is a similar look to Jonnu and still very clean. Jatavian rocks a Riddell Speed Flex with the HD eye guards face mask, a Sports Star, and a black VetX lip guard. He rocks different colored wrist tape and Nike Superbads in white and a beautiful Carolina blue, and sometimes adds an arm sleeve. He's got the baggy undershirt hanging out the bottom and some custom thigh pads as well. And then down below, he rocks scrunch socks and a couple different pairs of custom painted Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite 2s, a cleat not many people rock. And again, the single digit on a tight end is fire, and number 0 is dope. Overall, it's nothing crazy, but any tight end with wide receiver drip is usually amongst the tippity top of drip for tight ends. The next position we're going to do is offensive line. The offensive lineman with the most drip this season is Broderick Jones of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Broderick Jones is going back-to-back with this award, and he's 100% deserving of it. Up top, he's got the best helmet setup amongst O-line, Riddell Speedflex with the 808 with jagged eye guard style face mask, a tinted Oakley visor, a Vedex lip guard mouth guard, and of course, the shiesty underneath. You rarely see wide receiver drip at O-line, but the skill style face mask with the lip guard is just that, skill player drip. He also constantly mixes up the arm accessories. Sometimes it's one sleeve, sometimes it's two, sometimes it's an elbow brace, and then also some wrist braces. And of course, he's got the baggy undershirt hanging out as well. For his cleat heat, he had plenty of different Jordan models, Jordan 10s, Jordan 3s, Jordan 11s, and Jordan 1s. Broderick Jones is redefining O-line drip and easily one of my favorite looks in the entire league at all positions. Massive congratulations to Broderick Jones for going back-to-back with this award. The runner-up is another one of my favorites, Cesar Ruiz of the New Orleans Saints. I feel like nobody ever talks about this guy's drip. Up top, another Riddell Speedflex with the jagged eye guards face mask, a tinted visor, and a Sports Star chin strap. He always has the shooter sleeve on his left arm, some wrist braces, and then the best glove game amongst offensive line in the NFL. He's always in some very cool Jordan brand super bads in Saints colorways. Now I'm pretty sure these are Cam Jordan PE, so that's a pretty good teammate. Then he's got custom thigh pads and more exclusive Jordan PE cleats. He rocked the Jordan 5s and the Jordan 11s pretty much all season. I hope after this video people start to respect Cesar Ruiz and his drip, and just any offensive lineman drip. The next position we're going to talk about is interior defensive line. The interior defensive lineman with the most drip this season, TJ Slayton of the Green Bay Packers. This dude popped onto my radar this year, and his big boy drip is outstanding. His helmet setup is top tier and pretty similar to Broderick Jones. It's a Riddell Speedflex with the 808 jagged eye guards face mask, an Oakley Pro visor, a Sports Star chin strap, and of course a bunch of Vedex lip guard mouth guards. He's got the big bulky elbow braces and some Nike D-Tag gloves, and a little bit of a baggy undershirt. He rocked a big towel in the front, some custom thigh pads, and of course some cleat heat. He wore a bunch of dope stuff. My two favorites are the Jordan 1 Gatorade Customs and then the Jordan 6 Oreo cleats. Now this is one of those guys with that messy kind of drip, but as an interior defensive lineman, I think it's a pretty good look, so I'm rocking with it. Huge congrats to TJ Slayton. The runner-up is going to be Quinnen Williams of the New York Jets. Quinnen has always had one of the cleanest looks among the big boys. We've got another guy in the Riddell Speedflex, but in a very cool face mask with several sets of jagged bars, and of course an Oakley visor to top it off. He almost always goes with the half sleeve undershirt with the bottom hanging out, which I think is a pretty good look for an interior defensive lineman. Then he's got a little bit of wrist tape and a couple different pairs of Nike Superbad 7s. Down below, he's got some custom thigh pads, leggings with scrunch socks, and then a couple different pairs of Jordans. He mostly wore the Jordan 1s and occasionally some Jordan 3s. Overall, just a good look, good helmet setup, and good cleat game. The next position we're going to talk about is edge. The edge rusher with the best drip this season, Janarius Robinson of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is another guy that doesn't get talked about much when it comes to drip, but he should be. Up top, he's in a Riddell Speedflex with the same mask we just talked about with Quinnen, multiple sets of jagged bars up top, and then some more jagged bars down below. Then he's got an Oakley Pro visor and a Sports Star chin strap on there as well. I just think that this face mask is such a good look for in the trenches. This is another guy who's got some chains on underneath the pads, which is always good for the drip score. Then he mixed it up this season with some arm sleeves, sweatbands, and some taped up Nike D-Tag 7.0 gloves. And of course, he's got the baggy undershirt hanging out the bottom and the long streamer towel on at all times. Down below, he's got some good cleat heat, some Jordan 11s, and some Jordan 13s. For the 13s, I don't think I've ever seen these before, so they must be an old PE from some Jordan brand guy from a while back. Definitely not very easy to source. Overall, just a super good look head to toe for Janarius, and huge congratulations to him. The runner-up is going to be Brian Burns of the New York Giants. We already talked about him earlier with the best helmet setup, so I won't dive into that again, but the rest of his drip is legit too. He has rocked long sleeves, turf tape, arm sleeves, and a half sleeve undershirt. His glove game is also pretty sweet. He wore some Nike Superbad 7.0 PEs and then even took him back a couple years with some Nike Superbad 2.0s. Then of course he has his custom Spider-Man thigh pads and then a couple sweet pairs of cleats, mostly the Diamond Turf 96s. Overall, he's got the best helmet setup in football, some pretty good gloves, and then a sweet cleat rotation. The next position we're going to talk about is linebacker. The linebacker with the most drip this season is Mack Wilson of the Arizona Cardinals. This is also Mack Wilson's second year winning this award, so he's another guy to go back to back, and this one was probably the easiest one of them all. Mack Wilson's drip is unreal. Up top, Riddell Speedflex with the jagged eye guards, the Oakley Pro visor, and a bunch of different lip guard mouth guards. On the arms, he's done arm sleeves and then just some of these custom forearm bands. Throughout the season, he wore a ton of custom forearm bands with his number 2, the Cards logo, and his MW logo, and these might be my favorite accessory in all of football. He's also got the wrist tape and then plenty of cool gloves as well. He's just constantly mixing it up. up. Then he's got custom thigh pads, a towel, and changes up his cleats every single week. The main reason I love his drip is the way he just matches it all. If his cleats are gray and red, he'll match his gloves and forearm bands to them. If he's rocking yellow cleats, he'll rock with some more yellow accessories. He does it all the time, and I just think it's so clean, and I wish more guys would do this. His attention to detail is unmatched. Overall, this guy probably has my favorite drip in the league, and huge congratulations to Mack Wilson for going back-to-back. The runner-up is going to be Quincy Williams of the New York Jets. Funny enough, he's the second Williams brother to be a runner-up in this video, but his drip is pretty good too. Up top, he was in the Shut F7 with the sweet angled eye guards face mask, an Oakley Legacy visor, and a Sports Star chin strap. This helmet setup is super tough, and the green dreads hanging out the back only add to the swag. No arm accessories on this guy, but a wrist coach and some different colored Nike Super Red gloves. Of course, he's got a baggy undershirt and then some custom Joker thigh pads. Then his cleat game is also one of the best in football. His Paranorman foams, Grateful Dead dunks, and breast cancer awareness vape edges are some of my favorites. Overall, lots of super smooth drip, but not quite enough to win the award. Either way, good drip from Mr. Quincy Williams. The next position we're going to talk about is cornerback. The cornerback with the most drip this season is Mike Sainristil of the Washington Commanders. It's insane that Mike Sainristil is a rookie and has taken over one of the positions with the most drip in the NFL. It takes some serious drip to win this position, but I think he's well deserving of it. This dude does everything that I love. Let's take a look. Up top, he's in the Shut F7 with the Jalen Ramsey custom face mask, an Oakley Legacy visor, a Sports Star chin strap, and of course a bunch of VetX lip guards. This is nearly a perfect helmet setup for a DB in my opinion. Also, he always has a baggy undershirt and then switched it up a ton for his arm accessories this year. He did baggy sleeves, double arm sleeves, 2 shooter sleeves, and then no sleeves at all. Then he also rocks some different Nike Vapor Jets in some different colors, but the yellow ones are definitely my favorite. Down below, he has some custom trade decal thigh pads and then a plethora of different custom cleats. Jordan 1s, Nike Dunks, and even some old Vic customs are just a few of my favorites. Top to bottom, this guy is among the best in the NFL when it comes to drip, so huge congratulations to Mike Sainristil, the rookie, for winning this. The winner-up is going to be Patrick Surtain of the Denver Broncos. This guy's another one of my faves and really took it up a notch this season. Up top, he's in the Shut F7 with the jagged eye guards face mask, an Oakley Legacy visor, and of course a bunch of different lip guard mouth guards. He's always rolling with the turtleneck, baggy undershirt, and usually in some sort of arm sleeve, sometimes 1 and sometimes 2. He's got a bunch of different Nike Vapor Jets and some very beautiful PE colorways, which are next level. Also, he's got arguably the best custom thigh pads in the league, with his PS2 controller on one and his initials PS on the other. Then lastly, he had one of the best cleat rotations in the entire league. He wore Jordan 1s, the Kobe Grinches, and some LeBron 7 customs that were probably the dopest cleats we saw all season, just to name a few. He could have easily been number 1 this year, but I decided to throw him in the runner-up slot. Either way, an incredible year of drip from PS2. The final position we're going to talk about is safety. The safety with the most drip this season is Grant Delpit of the Cleveland Browns. Delpit is the third guy in this video to go back-to-back, and I've loved this dude's drip since LSU. This year, he was in the Riddell Axiom with one of the new Axiom face masks with the top bar and jagged sidebars, an Oakley visor, sometimes tinted, a Drymax chin saver, and a bunch of different VetX lip guards. He's also rotated in a shiesty, a bunch of different undershirts, forearm bands, and arm sleeves. For his gloves, he's one of the few guys in Cutter's gloves, and I love how clean and simple they look out there. Again, the baggy undershirt and custom thigh pads have been a staple throughout this video. He's got that stuff on too. For his cleats, he's won a mix of regular cleats and then some pretty fire customs as well. My favorite is hands down this pair of Kobe 6s. Head to toe, his drip is awesome. He mixes it up really well, and it always looks really good no matter what he decides to put on. Huge congrats to Grant Delpit for going back-to-back. The runner-up is going to be CJ Gardner-Johnson of the Philadelphia Eagles. His drip has been awesome with every team he's been on. This season, he wore 2 different helmets, the Axiom and the Shut F7. Personally, I think the F7 setup was much better, and that's what I'm going to base this off of. He's got the jagged eye guards with one of the Meteor lower style face masks. Then he's got a Drymax chin saver on there, and of course a lip guard mouth guard. For his arms, he's rolling with an arm sleeve and then a custom forearm band with his number 8. I said it earlier, but I love these custom bands, and this is another good one. Then he's got the Nike Super Red gloves and a couple different Eagles colorways. And then again, for the final time, a baggy undershirt and some custom trade decal thigh pads. One thing I don't love about his drip is his super pulled up socks. Gotta add some scrunch or something in there to be valid. Lastly, he's got a pretty solid cleat game as well. This year, he wore some regular stuff and then some really cool customs as well. The St. Vincent St. Mary's LeBrons were definitely my favorite of the bunch. Overall, pretty solid drip from CJ Gardner-Johnson. There you guys have it. There was the best drip in the NFL this season for those 10 positions. Please feel free to drop your thoughts down in the comments below, and I want you guys to even do your own awards down there, so let me know who you guys think is the drippiest at each position. Again, this video was a ton of work, so if you guys did like the video, please hit that like button, comment what you guys want to see us do next, and make sure you guys subscribe for more videos just like this one. My name is Devin, and thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Footballrs.